The Prime Minister has warned Queensland is facing some dark days ahead and has promised the full resources of the Army to help deal with this crisis. I spoke with Julia Gillard a short time ago. As we go to air tonight, what's the scale of this disaster that we're facing from the perspective of the Prime Minister?
Events have changed rapidly during the day. What, of course, we know now is that Ipswich and Brisbane face widespread flooding. And, of course, we're still searching for Australians who are unaccounted for from the flash flooding that we saw so dramatically yesterday. We know that a number of people have lost their lives and that there are many families anxiously awaiting news of relatives. So our thoughts and sympathies are with the bereaved and with those waiting for news. Certainly, I believe all Australians are standing with the people of Queensland. I think we're inspired by their courage and determination in the face of this crisis, and we will be working with them every step of the way.
Well, Prime Minister, police have described the situation as daunting. People, of course, look to you for reassurance. What help will you give them now and, of course, in the months ahead?
Peter, you're right to use the word months because we will need to stand shoulder to shoulder with the people of Queensland for many months to come. What I can say to people is that our Australian Defence Force has been working on the Queensland flood crisis, and we will add any additional assets necessary to meet this flood crisis. We've had helicopters in the air today assisting with the search and rescue efforts, and of course our Defence Force will continue to assist any way it can. We are also making available emergency payments to people. We know that there will be people whose homes are inundated, who can't pursue their normal employment. We have already started making payments. More than $10 million has already been paid, and this is part of hundreds of millions of dollars that will need to flow to Queensland. So we will be financially supporting people during these harrowing and difficult days. We have, of course, made available Mick Slater, one of our highly reputable soldiers, to lead recovery efforts. And I've asked one of our Queensland ministers, Joe Ludwig, to coordinate our recovery work too. Queensland is facing some difficult days ahead. The people of Brisbane, the people of Ipswich are now bracing for major flood waters. We are going to be there working with them through these difficulties.
PM, as a politician, you're used to politics and policy, but I really would like to know how this has affected you.
Well, when we're receiving news that children have died, literally been swept away by floodwaters, I think we're all very emotionally affected by that. It's a tough time. It's a really tough time. But in tough times, what we do as Australians is we pull together. And I'm really conscious as Prime Minister that the emergency effort is being staffed, even as we speak, Peter, by professionals who are going about their work with courage and determination, and by volunteers who are working alongside them doing their bit. And as we face this new dimension in the flood crisis, I know the people of Brisbane, the people of Ipswich, the people of Queensland generally are going to pull together and look after each other. And we, as the whole Australian nation, will be working with them to help them through.
And very quickly, Prime Minister, when will you be coming back to Queensland?
Peter, I will be travelling to Queensland later this evening so that I'm available there tomorrow.
Prime Minister, we thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Residents in Dalby, northwest of Brisbane, thought they'd seen the worst. But this afternoon, waters began to rise again. The town has been inundated now for 20 days. Melissa Mallet is there.
For the second straight night, Dalby was a town on edge and on the move. 2 evacuation centres were set up and became home to more than 200 people.
How's your little one going?
Oh, sleeping. Been a bit unsettled for the last 4 hours, but starting to settle now, so...
Yeah, could be a long night. Yeah, so they've got plenty of food and...
Yeah, as far as I know, we've got plenty of food. We've finally got some more mattresses, which will, At the start, it was looking like me and my wife were going to be sleeping on the floor.
This morning came good news, but it wouldn't last long.
We used the water that was running off to sweep all the silt out from the concrete under the house, and now it's coming again, so we shouldn't have bothered.
Dalby locals are exhausted. 750 homes are flood affected. 250 have water over the floorboards.
Yeah. Supposed to have a heap more rain up the mountains, so we're going now.
Supermarkets are flat out, people preparing all over again.
Yeah, waiting to see what's going to happen. Most of these, if it gets to 4 metres, will go under.
The traffic around here really has been incredible all day. These people have been trying to get back to the other side of town across that bridge before it floods, and Dalby's cut in two yet again.
But even with their own ongoing crisis to deal with, the haunting tragedy around Toowoomba is always in people's minds.
I just cried. I just hope all my friends up there are safe.
Yeah, it really is phenomenal, as you say.
Yeah, it is. But it'll be good. We'll get over it.
Yeah, you guys are tough out here.
Yeah, no, we're right. Just got to get batteries and get radios going so we know what's happening.
In Dalby, Melissa Mallett, 9 News.
You're watching 9 News. Stay with us for more on the flood crisis after the break.